welcome to Zen Woman. I'm Kirsty Jones, founder of Zen Woman, and today we're going to do a little talk about role models and networking and why they're important to ensure your success. So I did a talk before about accountability and how making yourself accountable, that fear of failure publicly, will keep you on the right track, and we will really try and do everything we can not to fail. And I touched on role models to help keep you inspired, and creating a network of people around you to help keep you strong. So we're just going to go a little bit more into that and why we need both a network and role models. Sometimes it can be the same person, but it's important to ensure that you have both to make your dream come true. So whatever dream or goal it is that you're working towards, ensuring that these groups, these networks, and role models are people that understand your topic. So, if I want to be a really good mum, if I want to have kids and that sort of thing, I'm not going to choose someone who's never had kids and doesn't know anything about babies, because they just wouldn't know what you're on about. So for me, it was for my business. So when I started creating my business, Zen Woman, there were a few people who helped me along the way. So some of those were people who I looked up to, like role models, people who I'd signed up and done one of their courses, and I saw what they were doing and I felt it, and I felt their vibe, and I thought it's amazing how many people are doing doing this course and gaining this insight and this inspiration like I am. And it's amazing the way that she's doing it. The first woman was Amber, who does A Woman Unleashed, so it's always worth researching that. She does that a few times a year, and that's what started me off on this whole sort of creative sharing coaching journey. Now, her side of it is very much creative, using an art as a sort of therapy, and that really intrigued me, and it opened up parts of myself, this whole businesswoman side of, I can do something that I enjoy and make a business of it. And so she became a role model for me. And the next one after her was Brendon Burchard. Tony Robbins' opera. I kind of went down the inspirational speaker route a little bit after that one, but mostly Brendon Burchard, because again I saw some of his free content and it just inspired me. I found out his story, I've read his books, I've worked out how he came from nothing, and he's now multi-million dollar, probably billion-dollar company owner, and he just goes out there and helps people, and he gives away so much free stuff, and that is such an inspiration for me. So role models are essential. They're generally often the reason why you started something, or why you turned it from one day I think I'd like to do that, into, hell, they're doing that. And they started like me. I can do that. Brilliant. But they're not just for getting started. Every now and then we all have days when we're on a goal where we wonder, what the hell are we doing? How did we get here? Why did I start doing this? What am I even thinking? Sometimes just reconnecting with that person, watching a bit of what they're doing again, remembering what inspired you in the first place, again reading back to their story, actually looking up issues that they had along the way, because if you're having an issue, they've probably already had it and they've probably already talked about it. And sometimes you can even contact these people. I did contact Amber, and she was nice enough to do a little a Skype chat with me, and we had a few emails, and it was amazing, inspiring for me to think that someone up here took the time out to talk to me and to encourage me, and that was fantastic. It's amazing how many of these people we think are so out of our league and we can't contact them, they won't want to know from little old me, and actually they're often really happy to hear from you and happy that they've inspired someone, and they love to give a bit of advice as well. So obviously you don't have to bother them every 2 minutes but it is nice to make a bit of contact with people, which also can bring into some networking. But sticking with role models for a moment, they don't have to be famous people that you don't know. Your role model could be someone in your life, a parent or a friend who's already doing what you want to do. I had, for me, my nana, my grandma, she was an amazing woman, so inspirational, the way she was so positive and stuff through her life. She's no longer with us for quite a few years now, but she was monumental to my growing up. And even now, sometimes when I'm doing my business and it's difficult to be in there as a businesswoman still, although times are sort of getting easier, And I just think back to what she would have done, how she would have just got on with things. And so she's still a role model in my life, even though she's no longer in my life. So it doesn't have to be someone who's still around. It can be anyone that you aspire to become in any way. So surrounding yourself with those will keep you motivated, it will keep you inspired, and it will keep you dreaming big. You don't need to make your dream fit into your life. You expand your life to fit the dream. I'm doing the big hands to make sure you really take that point in. So then moving on to networking. So sometimes looking at your role models and the people that inspire you can actually start to build a network. There are people, for me, one of my friends, Zoe Howarth, she also is a businesswoman, and she was doing it before I was. Slightly different business, but she was an inspiration to me because I watched her do this with a tiny newborn baby, starting, sort of running this business, changing it, getting out there, making it happen, working really hard. And I thought, yeah, do you know what, I can do this. And I mean, we've always been very good friends anyway, but we actually started having business meetings. And we also have another friend, Claire and Paul. They also own a jewelry shop, and they started small and built it up and built it up. So now I'm kind of building this network. Add to that occasionally, like I might talk to Amber, or I also have done a few shifts in a little art gallery, so maybe I'll talk to the owner of that. And you start to build up a network of other people that are succeeding. And they may not be way up here at the $1 million level or £1 million level, but they're making their dream come true. And surrounding yourself with those people in your everyday life as much as you can, or arranging meetings, or joining a think tank or a business group, because they are everywhere, you can find them locally, will help to keep you on track with the smaller things. So the practicality, sometimes you find something that just isn't working and you can't get your head around it, and it's not a big deal, but it's affecting your business. Or you having these little failures, and again, they're not a massive deal that you need to take a whole course to learn about, but it's holding you back and it's niggling you. These are amazing things to talk to in your network, because they're probably having the same things, the same little niggles, the same failures or similar ones. And just knowing that you're not alone in that there are other people going through that same thing, having the same issues. Sometimes you'll help them, sometimes they'll help you. Either way, you can look around you and see that people are succeeding at this, and I'm one of them. And that self-belief is amazing for clearing out these blocks of I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, success is for other people. There are other things we do to clear blocks, and there'll be other videos on that. But surround yourself with the people you want to become, or the people you want to become like. It's essential. So role models, networking, accountability, basically people power. So even if you're not doing the products together, people are so important in our life. Right back to when we were tribal, we needed these people around us. Sometimes it was the competition that pushed us further. Sometimes it was the support. Sometimes it was having people there to do the day-to-day stuff while you could go off and, these adventurers or whatever it was that evolved us at the time. We need this. You cannot, or very rarely, can do something completely on your own. And there is no shame in asking for help or in needing people around you. Too many of us feel that, if I've got to ask for help, then it's not a worthy accomplishment. And that is so wrong. So totally wrong. So I hope you have probably already some role models. Work on those, follow them a bit more, work out a bit more about these people and get some more inspiration and motivation from it, and start to network with the intention of making your goal happen. So even if you have friends doing similar things like Zoe and I, we then set specific business meetings where we would meet up in a local coffee house and just talk about business. Specific business time when you can really feel that vibe and get into it and become the businesswoman, especially when you're self-employed or if you're working from home a lot. It's difficult to get into that zone of feeling like you're a business owner because you're just at home and you don't really talk to other business people and you're not in an office and the environment is difficult. So go out, network, build up this surrounding of people that are going to support you and that are going to lift you higher. And let us know if you want to be a part of the network with Zen Woman. We can have a little group here where we lift each other up and support each other through it. So thank you for watching and listening. I hope this was really helpful, and I will see you again in the next video.